Welcome on in to a Tuesday. It is October 28th of 2025. Just a few days left, Joan, before the government, as the shutdown remains, that SNAP benefits will no longer be available to people in Minnesota, I should say, Tennessee.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Tennessee, or my mind's on Minnesota for another reason, across Tennessee or any place else across America. I want to welcome on into the program Mike Womack, Executive Director, Feed America First, one of the many food banks we have across Middle Tennessee. And Mike, let's talk a little bit about what is happening in Tennessee, because Governor Lee came out and said that we can't use, any kind of state funds to supplement or make good the money that people would be getting for their SNAP benefits because the government is shut down. So places like yours, food banks like yours, are stepping up. Talk a little bit about what you're seeing.
Hey, Dan, thanks for having me. Yeah, starting on November 1st, if the shutdown continues, 35,000 families a day will be affected. And the way that SNAP benefits are distributed, it's through the first 20 days of the month. So if you can imagine 35,000 and then the next day 70,000 and the next, you can imagine it just goes on. And that adds to the people we were already serving and other food banks are already serving. So it is, I would love to say organized chaos right now, but it's just flat out chaos.
Let me ask you, because I went through this in the 5 o'clock hour, and there's no politically correct way to say this, but, online you have all of these people on social media. You've got them on TikTok, you've got them on Instagram, and they are receivers of SNAP benefits, recipients of food stamps and SNAP benefits and so forth. And they celebrate the fact that essentially they are abusing the system. And so I made the point to say that there are so many people across Tennessee who are not that. They are genuinely needing the help. And I think that those people that, celebrate the big grocery carts full of cookies and potato chips and all that, give the people that really need these benefits a bad name. Who do you see come into your food bank?
Yes. Great. Well said. What we see a lot is grandparents raising grandkids that may get SNAP benefits, but they're getting because of their income, their Social Security, or maybe they work a part-time job, they might receive $40, $50 a month in SNAP benefits. Well, that's not going to go very far. You can barely get in the store for $50. So we're seeing a lot of I hate to classify it like this or say it like this, but we're seeing a lot of the working poor, people that are out working, doing everything they can. They may not have a high-end job, but they're doing everything they can. Both parents are working. They're doing everything they can, and they are getting SNAP benefits, but it might be on a lower level. We don't see a lot of that, but it is really easy to fall into that trap when you see people coming through a food line or something like that to pick up food, and maybe they're driving a nice car, but you don't know the situation. It could be a borrowed car. It could be a car that's about to be repossessed. There's just so many different things that people could be going through that you don't know about. There are plenty of people that abuse the system, but the majority of people that any food bank serves, I would say, are legit people that just need a hand up.
One of the things, and I'm going to piggyback on that, because I know someone personally who he was on food stamps, but he had a car, a nice car. It was, I forget what it was. I'm not into cars, but it was kind of a fancy car. And he lost his job, and things just, tumbled very quickly in his life. So he was one of those people, Mike, who had a nice car, dare I say, somewhat fancy. It was paid off, so he didn't want to sell it because it's all paid off, but he lost his job and he had to go get food stamps. And so He was telling me this was way back when, but he got harassed in a parking lot as one of those people that, had food stamps and was going through, I don't know how people figured it out, and he was driving a nice car and somebody said, hey, you're on food stamps. Why do you have such a nice car? Are you ripping off the system? And once you hear some of these stories, then you do begin to realize, yeah, you know what, those those TikTokers who are ripping off the system, they kind of give a lot of the other people that genuinely need it a bad name. And especially when you're talking about, Mike, and you bring up a great point, the working poor. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of places out there that don't pay a heck of a lot of money. And the people who are and I'm going to air quote this, the working poor, you know what? They could be at home sitting around watching, The View all day and not work and just take advantage of the full benefits. But instead, they choose to go out and work and at least, try to do their part in being a productive members of society. Those folks are to be applauded. And they're trying their best to do what they need to do to get food for their family.
You're right, Dan. They absolutely should be applauded because they're doing everything they can to make sure that ends are met. We see a lot of people that are having to make decisions now on, should I buy this medicine or that medicine? Should I pay this bill or should I pay that bill? It's decisions that the greatest country in the world, 40% of our food still ends up in landfills. And it's just amazing to me to watch how blessed of a country we are and how poor decisions we continue to make.
You say 40, so did you say 41% of our food ends up in landfills?
Yes.
How?
40%
so
of
like
our
people letting their meat go bad or whatever?
Well, companies that have large, maybe they've had overruns or maybe they've had close to date stuff, they've produced too much or an order got canceled because of the culture in our community today where it's easier to sue Dan Mandis than to have a conversation with him. Companies get sued, they quit donating. If they don't donate the food, it's got to go to the landfill. So 40% of the food in our country still ends up in the landfill.
So what do you need? By the way, Mike Womack is joining us, Executive Director of Feed America First. What do you need as November 1st approaches? Because I know that, as you're saying, it's going to be chaos.
Yeah, and every food bank's in the same situation. One of the things that I probably, your listeners may be thinking, hey, what can I do? How can I help? The greatest way to help, a lot of people, we're getting a lot of phone calls of people saying, hey, I want to start a food bank. Now's not the time to start a food bank or a food pantry. Get involved with someone that's already doing it. Many churches, 90% of the places that we work with is churches. So the greatest thing you can do is go and volunteer, go and donate money, because even if the food is donated, there's still transportation costs. If you're going to if we're going to go across, we're in Murfreesboro, if we're going to go to a cold storage place over 5 miles from us and pick up a load of yogurt that's donated to us, it's still going to cost us $1,000 to get it delivered 5 miles because transportation cost is so high. So every food bank needs volunteers. Every food bank needs dollars. They have buying power. So for us at Feed America First, it's easy. Go to feedamericafirst.com, hit donate. You can make a massive difference. Contact myself or our volunteer coordinator, Michelle Olson. Come volunteer. Help us pack boxes. But somewhere around you is a food bank that needs help, and we need to all come together on this to be able to handle what's about to happen.
So if people wanted to donate food, could they do that if they wanted to donate canned goods, or is it easier to get cash or whatever?
They absolutely can. Most food banks of our size are going to have a little bit more buying power. So if you want to donate money, that's a little easier for us. But if you want to do a food drive, I know World Outreach Church here in Murfreesboro, starting this weekend and next weekend, at every service is going to do a food drive. So any of their services, if you're in the Murfreesboro area and you want to take a bag of non-perishable food and drop it into one of the totes that they have out there, that's a good option. Many churches are doing food drives right now because the need is so large.
One of the things, and some folks are chiming in on the super text line, you talked about how a lot of the folks that are recipients of your food bank, when they show up, you're talking about kids, you're talking about elderly folks. Do you have a percentage?
Yes, probably 60% of the people that come in through our efforts are either single parent families or grandparents raising grandchildren.
Okay. How can people get more information on your food bank?
Feed America First.
Feed America First.
Yep. FeedAmericaFirst.com. We're on every social media platform that you can think of, and you can go to our website, which is FeedAmericaFirst.com.
Do you have any food drives coming up?
We do. I mean, obviously the one at World Outreach will be the biggest one we have because it's one of the largest churches in our state.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of churches, and if a church wants to start one, call us.
All right. Mike Womack, Executive Director of Feed America First, thank you. And let us know how it goes. Let me know. We've got our respective phone numbers. Let me know how it goes on the 1st, all right?
Thank you, Dan.
Joan, no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah. Why is that?
You know what we said about Gavin Newsom?
Yeah.
We got a bunch of those people on the super text line.
Oh.
Cloudy today, a shower in spots, a high of 62, feels like 61. So you have some, and by the way, we're all friends here, but you got some people that are attacking yours truly, your humble host, for, number one, basically saying, not all the people on food stamps or SNAP benefits are, crooks or taking advantage of the system like you see on TikTok. The people on TikTok, that's what they do, but there are other people that really do need help. I said that in the 5 o'clock hour. I said that here. And somehow that's offended some of the delicate sensibilities of people listening, and I don't really understand why. Because isn't that a fact?
Yeah. Yes.
And if I needed food, I'd go to a food bank, or I'd take SNAP benefits if I had to. I mean, why would you not? They're there for people that need help.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that are saying, one guy who is saying, well, it's listeners like yours who think, that all people on SNAP are, gaming the system. And I will tell you,
that.
Number one, I never said that. As a matter of fact, I spent, a good part of the 5 o'clock hour talking about how the people, again, at, who are online making fun of the system and taking advantage of the system, openly taking advantage of it, are giving the real people in need a bad name. That is literally what I said. And then 3618 says this: Dan, your friend with the fancy car didn't do everything he could before he jumped on the gravy train and took tax dollars to feed himself. I think it'd be himself, but whatever. What are you suggesting, 3618? That he should have sold his car that was all paid off so that he would have to go get another car? And by the way, this was a good car that had good gas mileage. So I don't know what people want. You know what I mean? Sometimes people end up in really crappy situations. That's what happens to people. And I know, and Joan, I know you know too, people who have been in radio and had good gigs and lost it and couldn't find another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can happen to anybody.
But okay, so let's take it a step even further. A lot of people have had good jobs in radio or other jobs, and they lose their jobs. Why didn't they plan for disaster? Like, why should we have to cover them because they didn't plan well? I just feel like we really need to step up our game of, caring for ourselves. Every day, I get really mad that the school systems feed the kids free meals, not just during the school year, but all summer long.
Yeah.
All we do is pass the responsibility off to somebody else for everything, and that bugs me.
Yeah, and listen.
And I'm not heartless, but it bugs me.
That is absolutely legit. I mean, I know. But when Mike said, a lot of the folks that come to the food bank are the working poor, I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of working poor in this state and across America. There's a lot of working poor. And so they could be off, just on the gravy train full time, like you see with some of these idiots on, YouTube or TikTok or whatever, but they are doing, perhaps the best that they can. So maybe the truth is, somewhere in the middle, because there are people that absolutely take advantage of the system. But there's other people that find themselves in really dire straits. dude, I got to tell you, there was about 6 months in my life when I was about 19 years old, after I got kicked out of my house, that I was living on top ramen. I was that guy that was living on top ramen. And I was that close. I kid you not.
That was my college years.
Yes, I was that close to being homeless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it's because I was so close to, being homeless when I was really young. Because my mom literally kicked me out of my house. And I was like just turned 18. And she told me I was out of the house when I was 17.
Oh, wow.
So it's a whole thing. Like, she was like, and I know I got to take a break. We got to tell RJ to chillax.
He's giving me the windmill.
My mom told me, that's all right. My mom said, when you turn 18, you're out. She says, I'm selling the house, the townhouse. I'm selling the townhouse, and I'm going to go off and get married and do whatever she's going to do, and you got to find a place to live. And I was like, what the heck did I do? And she's like, well, you didn't do anything. That's part of the problem. But you've got to figure it out. And off I went. She never even sold the townhouse. She actually ended up renting it out. But, yeah, so, I mean, I was like right there on the precipice. So I'm sure people are chiming in about their own, right there on the brink of homelessness stories, because I think a lot of people have them. But you know what I did, Joan? Now this is where I'm going to talk about the other side. I ended up working like 5 different part-time jobs. All of them paid me, I kid you not, minimum wage. At one point in my life, I had 5 jobs, all that paid me minimum wage, so that I could get out of the absolute hole that I was in. And, I made it. I made it. So there you go. But I didn't have kids and that whole thing either. So anyway, it is.
But still, you worked your way out of the hole.
I did.
Right?
I did. And boy, it felt like I could always use a bigger shovel. It just, I mean, it was for like 6 months to a year, man. It was just, I mean, I think that's part of what drives me today, be honest with you. Because how many of us don't? I live with a perpetual fear of failure. And being broke, being homeless, not being able to provide for my family. And it is that fear that I think drives me every single day. And I think that, am I ready now? Am I okay if a rainy day happens? Absolutely I am. But I think a healthy fear is actually good for people. The problem that these people online that are taking advantage of the system, the problem is they have no fear because they are used to the government providing for them every single day, every single month. And that's the problem. All right, we really got to go. We are getting skewered, Joan.
I know. And
Jason says Joan is a heartless Republican. Dan is just brainless.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's Jason. You got to take Jason with a grain of salt. It's called he does a little bit of trolling.
Does Jason do trolling?
He did a little bit of trolling.
Okay, very good.
I don't care that somebody thinks I'm a heartless Republican. I do believe in self-responsibility.
You know what,
do.
You know what, Joan? Here's what those starving children need to do. Give them a gun and go hunt some deer.
Give kids guns. That's the official position of Nashville's morning news.
All right, just so we're clear, I'm kidding. I think I have learned there's certain things that apparently you can't win when you talk about.
Yeah.
One of them is
giving kids guns.
No, not giving kids guns. I think we all agree that's a great idea.
That's a good idea.
No, it's SNAP benefits and that kind of a thing. Because a guy disagreed with I was talking about a guy who I knew had a decent car. Somebody gave him a hard time because he had a decent car, but he had the food stamps or whatever. And this guy's and listen, I'm going to give it to him. Guy says what he should have done was sold the car so that he would have money for the groceries and not live off the government dime. But then he's got to get a car. How's he going to work?
And you never know, right? Like he bought a $40,000 used car that he still owes $35,000 on.
Right.
Like there's a Jordan Peterson thing. It's like don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to yourself where you were a year ago.
Yeah,
right. Because you don't know, that guy might have a really nice Mercedes, but he might be going through just an awful divorce and his kids hate him.
Oh.
And life is going down the crapper and you're in a much better position, even though you can't see it through the windows of the car.
I have been through two really, really bad times in my life. One was I described earlier when I was 18 and got kicked out of my home. My mother kicked me out.
Good for her.
You know what? Honestly, dude, it was the best thing she ever did for me.
Yeah.
Best thing she ever did for me. She didn't know it at the time.
It's time for you to stop freeloading.
Get out. I want to sell the house. And then she never even sold it. And then after my divorce.
Okay.
And you want to talk about being penniless. Lawyers and all that kind of stuff. Holy mackerel. So anyway, whatever.
I had times where we were eating, me and my roommate, Zach, we were eating stale taco shells and salsa. And we did that for about a week and a half.
If you put enough salsa on it, you can't tell that they're stale.
You can't.
Joan, you ever know that?
I didn't, but if you just pop them in the toaster oven, let them get a little crispy, you don't even notice.
Did
Joan,
you know?
I was telling you how poor we were. We didn't have a toaster oven, Joan.
I see. I'm sorry.
You know what? You do it in the summertime, put it out on the side.
There you
of
go.
the
Right. There
What's
you
the
go.
problem?
There you go.
Sometimes
Listen, I'm
desperate
heartless
measures.
and I'm cold, so,
She is.
Yeah.
We're getting so many texts of people saying 1-877 guns for kids.
Oh, my goodness.
like we've had multiple texters. 1-877 guns for kids.
Who's you know what? I think we need to make RJ sing it as his official initiation. 877 guns for kids, right?
8777 guns for kids.
There you go.
I would also say Dan Mandis 2028, arm the children.
You know what? Put that on a bumper sticker. I'm going with it.
Just for the record, my favorite ones were the ones that spelled guns with a Z.
Well, that shows a little bit of street cred.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids are going to be holding their guns sideways.
So let me ask. So Joan and
So gangsta.
gosh, yeah. So
they
dumb.
do.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about doing something, but I'm not sure if I should. I said something this morning that really touched a nerve with one of our listeners.
What are you doing?
I said something that, even though I don't believe I said anything wrong, it really upset this particular person. I'm thinking about, does it break protocol to actually cold call somebody and say, "Listen, I'm sorry. I see that touched a nerve with you, and I sincerely apologize." Because she really, it was some. I think it's a female. I feel bad because this person took what I said so personally.
Here's what I would ask. Would it change your calculation if this was a man?
Of course. No, it wouldn't. No. If it's a man, woman, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you trying to...
Yeah. What's the point of that question?
I'm just wondering if he's
No.
more sympathetic to hurting a female's feelings.
No, not at all. Not at all. When I say something and I don't mean anything by it, if I'm like making fun of somebody, and then that other person has the same trait, then the other person personalized it. One of our listeners personalized it. And I feel, generally speaking,
what is it?
I feel bad.
What is it?
Septum ring.
Oh. The bull nose thing.
I started making fun of people. I don't know why.
But I make fun of those people all the time, too.
I know, but you know what?
You're heartless, Chris.
You're heartless.
You're forgot.
You want children to starve and...
I saw an Instagram video, and it was this girl, and she's like, my parents say I look like a weird liberal. And she had blue hair and a septum ring, and then she took it out and dyed her hair, and she's like, oh my gosh, I look great.
I could get a job now. Yeah, so I feel bad. So, but I don't know what the protocol is on just cold calling people and say, hey, sorry I ticked you off. You know what I mean? I don't know. Should I do that? I feel like it'd be creepy.
Like Bernie Sanders asking for money. I'm coming once again to apologize.
When they sign a restraining order against you, you'll know that it was too much.
And see, that's the thing. I don't know, and I don't know how well it would be received. So I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've got her phone written down, phone number written down. I don't know if I should. Should I call?
It would totally change the calculation if it was a dude with a septum ring.
But dudes
No, it
don't really
wouldn't.
get septum ring. I mean, I've never seen a guy with one. It's
Oh my
always
goodness
girls.
gracious, Joan!
Really?
Where have you been?
Have I been in a hole somewhere? Yeah.
Get
maybe.
out of the
All
wherever
right,
the
sorry.
world.
She's been in the
place
woods, Stan.
Yeah.
I one of the Starbucks I go to, one of the baristas is a dude, and he's got a septum ring.
Really?
Do you think it's him?
What do you mean?
You're gonna call to apologize? You'd be like, is this
No.
Bill from Starbucks?
I'm absolutely positive this guy does not listen to Nashville's morning news. So, yeah.
The super text line is saying, don't do it.
Oh, really?
And septum rings are stupid.
A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I genuinely hurt somebody's feelings. See, this is my problem. I have just a little bit of humanity left in me.
Yeah, get rid of it.
Really? Joan? All right, let's the four of us.
I think you should shake it off.
Let's vote, the four of us. I say that I should call. Chris, what do you say?
No apologies.
RJ?
And why not? Go for it.
Joan?
No apologies.
Okay, nice going. RJ,
we have
we're
a
tied.
split. We have a split.
Well, what do we do if is Murphy Show listening? Hey, Murphy Show, if you're listening, call the hotline.
You only have to say his name one more time, and usually that does it.
Murphy Show, Murphy Show, Murphy Show.
Now we'll never stop hearing from him.
If Matt will be the tiebreaker.
You know he loves being a good tiebreaker.
Because if there's anybody that knows anything about hurting people's feelings, it's Matt Murphy.
This is true. He's an expert at having to apologize.
So, toughen up, Dan, says TB.
I love how 7884 said they wrote me and you out of this completely. Joan, what the heck is a septum ring?
No, I'm about ready to send a picture to that person.
Okay.
Please call her, Josh.
Call
Josh says, please call her. All right. No. Good Lord.
2369 said, septum ring is a choice, not a disability. Nothing to be upset about.
Oh, we got Matt Murphy on the hotline.
Oh, I knew it. We knew it. We knew it. If you say his name 3 times in your bathroom with the lights off and you flip him on real quick, he's behind you yelling about libertarianism.
All right, Murphy Show with a small L. Murphy Show.
Hello, Dan.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
I was in the shower, and I had the strongest urge to get out of the shower and call you. I don't know why.
I don't know either, but it's slightly disturbing. All right, so real quick. I said something that angered one of our listeners. Now, I don't think that I said anything that was really, that bad. But I was making fun of people with the septum rings. And so this particular person...
But you making fun of people what?
With septum rings. You know, the thing in their nose, the bowl thing in their nose?
Oh, the leader where you put the leaf.
Yeah. That's the one.
I
think I know which way Murphy's show's leaning.
I do. So
anybody that puts something like that in their face gets anything and everything that's coming to them. That's my first statement.
Okay. So she wrote me an impassioned, she, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but this person wrote me an impassioned reason as to why she had a septum ring. And I actually feel really bad because this person is genuinely upset with what I had to say, which, I mean, if they're upset with me, I mean, they're going to be really mad at you and Chris.
Or life.
But anyway, so I was actually considering, I've got said person's phone number written down, and I was thinking about calling and sort of engaging in an apology. And I am sorry that you were so upset.
Did you speak specifically to this person's nose ring?
No, I didn't.
So
but
you were talking about nose rings in general.
Yeah, I was talking about how I didn't think that they looked very good. And
I don't know if you noticed this, but Murphy is low key channeling his inner Jay St. Clair. Have you noticed this? I'm listening and I'm hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you just made a general comment about people with nose rings, and this one person felt compelled to write you a passionate, emotional. What was the nature of the note? I want to know what the note was about. What did that say?
It was about the psychological reason that this person actually had a nose ring.
Oh my gosh.
That they're crazy?
No, it wasn't that. Now I feel like I'm defending the person with the nose ring. By the way, 1959 says, go pick on a bald man.
Oh.
What was their, I mean, I'm just, now you've gotten me honestly curious, Dan. What was their psychological reasoning for feeling?
So they talked about how they were really overweight. They lost a bunch of weight, but they were they had the nose ring, the septum ring, because they were trying to fit in. They were trying to find a crowd to fit in with. And that's why said person had the septum ring. And that's where the losing 165 pounds or something like that came in. So,
well, here's what I would say to this person, if this person is still listening. Apparently, the nose ring did not help you because you're still looking for psychological approval from people on the radio that you don't know. So what you need to do is get some help with your self-esteem above and beyond putting metal in your face.
Woohoo!
Let's go.
Tell him.
Note to self, never ask Matt Murphy for sympathy.
I would also add that just trying to find a crowd to fit in with,
Yeah.
that's how Hitler rose to power. Just
Dan,
51.
do you remember when you talked about people with purple hair and somebody said, "Oh, I have purple hair," and I'm? Did you feel like you had to call that person? No.
No, because she and I had a good back and forth. It was fine. I mean, most people have a sense of humor. This one particular person didn't, and it's fine.
Humorless and filled with nose ring.
And that's why you feel the need to call that person?
Well, so let me ask you this, Dan. If
I never should have done this.
If you made a comment, like let's say you went to the beach, you and Amy went to the beach, right?
Yeah.
And you noticed this particular girl in this just minuscule bikini, and she was hot. She was smoking hot, but she had this minuscule bikini on. And you made a comment about why do women feel the need to wear next to nothing on the beach. And you got a message from a smoking hot woman, just smoking hot, telling you that she had a psychological need to wear a minuscule bikini on the beach. Would you feel bad for that woman and want to call her and apologize to her?
Am I single?
He said you were with Amy.
Oh, that I said. Well,
Yikes.
okay. Well, first of all, Amy would be the smoking hot female that I'd have with me. But
Smooth.
Good save.
Yes. Okay.
This person is playing, Dan, the thing that we love most about you is the fact that you are, among all of us on the radio station, you're the most sensitive. And I'm not saying that trying to mean. You are. You're the most sensitive to the emotions of other people. And I think this person is playing on your sensitivity. And it's okay to be sensitive with this person and at the same time recognize that they're an absolute freak.
You know what? Suddenly what I said isn't so bad, and I don't feel the need to apologize. You all, though. All right, very good.
5139 texted in and said, if you call and apologize, tell him he will just be like that Philly dad with the baseball.
There you go.
All right, Murphy Show, you got anything good coming up on your show 3 to 7?
Representative Andy Ogles is going to be on. He's going to talk about his big Trump endorsement.
Okay, very good. Then we're looking for what time is that going to be?
That's at 4:35 this afternoon, but show starts at 3. Don't be late.
All right, very good. Thank you, Matt. And it is 8:53 on Nashville's Morning News. I actually feel a lot better because I'm not as bad as you folks.
That's good. This is what we're here for.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I feel fantastic now.
Well, like Matt said, you're more squishy than the rest of us.
Oh.
He said sensitive.
Sorry.
Joan.
Got my S words mixed up.
I had an S word for you. Anyway, it is 8:50.
Is it septum?
It is not.
S-head. Get that, S-head?
I get it.
Hey, Joan, please, for the love of all that is holy, what's coming up?
We'll tell you the one place where the homeless population is growing around here, and it's causing some concern. Also, Amazon's devastating announcement. Those stories at 9 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, very good.